Today, I will be explaining 4 economic concepts. The first one will be supply and demand, the basics. So, here's a regular supply and demand graph. Supply is always going to be sloping upward, demand will be sloping downward. An increase in supply, so say a shift of supply to the right, will bring a new supply. The new equilibrium, as this was the beginning, P, Q, the new equilibrium for an increase in supply will be the price going down and the quantity going up. So that must mean that a decrease in supply, that would be if supply goes up, that would mean a decrease in supply. We'll do a price goes up and quantity go down, and that would be shown as such. This is the first equilibrium. Supply goes down. Sorry, I'll label this S1. No, excuse me, this is S1. The new equilibrium. This is the regular P and Q. This is the new P and Q. Sorry, I forgot to label this. So this corresponds with this. Demand is similar, but there are different characteristics that go along with the increase and decrease in demand. Here's the regular supply and demand graph, the first equilibrium. An increase in demand, shift up. We'll have a new equilibrium, and it will bring increase in price. This is if demand is increasing, and an increase in quantity. But if you decrease demand, this is the first equilibrium. Say demand decreases, shift it to the left, a new equilibrium will have a decrease in supply, in price, and decrease in quantity. Those are the basics of supply and demand. Now let's go over quantity demanded and supplied. Basically, the only things that affect quantity demanded and quantity supplied is the price. So you start off with your basic supply and demand graph, and what it basically means is that at a certain price, P, consumers will demand a certain amount of, let's say the market is chicken. At this price, consumers will demand this much of chicken, and suppliers will produce this much of chicken. So that's why this is the equilibrium. Say the price was increased, say it shifted up, we'll draw a line. Say the price was increased, this is the new price. Consumers will only demand this much. Demand this much of chicken, and producers will supply this much of chicken. So the consumers won't get as much as they want because the producers aren't willing to supply that much for that price. So that's basically quantity demanded, and then quantity supplied is the same concept. The only difference is basically this is quantity demanded and supplied. This is the quantity demanded at the price. This is the one supplied, and the only thing that affects that is price of the object. Quantity demanded and supplied. The third thing I'll go over is economies. And this economies of scale. So this is represented as a parabolic picture. When this is the long run ATC curve. If the company's long run ATC curve is falling, so this portion of the graph, they're considered to be in economies of scale. If it is increasing, they're considered to be diseconomies of scale. And basically what this means is that economies of scale means the company is so big it has either raw materials necessary to create the good or just the resources to produce it efficiently better than the other companies, so their long run ATC curve will be falling. But if it's diseconomies of scale, meaning the company is faced up against those larger companies and doesn't have the advantages, their long run ATC is increasing. So that's economies and diseconomies of scale. And then finally, perfect competition. Basically, this means you start with your supply and demand, your equilibrium price. Sorry about that. So you drag this price all the way across to a new curve, and this is going to be the price in perfect competition for the for the firm. This will be their price and their marginal revenue, average revenue, and their demand. So if they charge a price higher than this, nobody want to buy their goods because it's a higher price than the other companies that sell the exact same product sell it at. But if they do it lower, they wouldn't want to sell it at a lower price because they know at this price they'd sell the same amount of material. So if they sold it at a lower price, they'd be losing money. So this is perfect competition. This is their demand, and usually the ATC curve intersects demand at its minimum, so they're producing here, so they don't have an economic profit in perfect competition. So basically those are my 4 explained economic concepts. Hopefully you learned something today. Thank you.